Hey everybody, I have a video here for you today. Now, I was asked a question by a subscriber a few days ago about a site in the UK, and I always like getting questions, especially on sites I have not talked about yet, and especially on sites that tie into other things I have talked about. But this site here in the UK is known as the Cerne Abbas Giant, and he is an ancient geoglyph carved into the side of the hill simply by removing the turf and exposing the white rock underneath. And the Cerne Abbas Giant is also known as the Rude Man for obvious reasons here when you take a look at him. But when I first took a look at this, it was obvious what I was seeing, and I took a look around, and a few other people, just a few, have gotten it right. Most other people say this is kind of a mystery at what this depicts, but I think it is fairly obvious, and maybe some of you have noticed that, but I just want to do a little reading here. It says the Cerne Abbas Giant, or the Rude Man, is one of the largest hill figures in Britain. It says he is carved in solid lines from the chalk bedrock, and he measures 180 feet high and carries a huge knobbled club which measures 120 feet in length. The first written record of the giant appears in 1751 in a letter by Dorset historian John Hutchins, and he suggested that the figure was cut in the mid-1600s, but I think this goes back quite a bit further, and people have suggested it was carved in the 2nd century, about 1800 years ago, and I like that theory. But there are many theories out there as to what this depicts, and I think I'm going to leave this link below and you can read the different theories, but I think you have to go back to the folklore of the area to get the connection to what this really is. And it says this: the giant's obvious sexuality and virility was put to use in fertility folk magic. Local women who wanted to conceive would spend a night alone on the hillside, most productively within the confines of his giant phallus, and young couples would make love on the giant to ensure conception. And fertility and creation go hand in hand together, and I believe this posture of the Cerne Abbas Giant is the depiction of only one thing, and that is the constellation of Orion. This is how Orion is depicted: legs slightly parted, left arm extending straight out, right arm upward, was holding something up over the head. Here is another depiction of Orion with the stars superimposed, right arm over the head with a club or something, left arm held straight out. I think that is what we have with the Cerne Abbas Giant here. This posture is also common in Egyptian history and artwork. I saw this post today. This is Pharaoh Ramses, I believe Ramses II, left arm straight out, right arm up over the head, holding something, legs slightly parted. This is the classic posture of the constellation of Orion. This is called the Narmer palette. King Narmer was like the very first ruler of dynastic Egypt, and they say he is the one that unified Egypt and really the creator of dynastic Egypt. And here he is, legs slightly parted, left arm out, right arm up, holding something up over the head. I think this is in the classic posture of the constellation of Orion also. And I just want to mention this here: one of the most famous geoglyphs in the world is a human-like form holding the right arm up above the head. Is the famous Nazca alien also a depiction of Orion? I just thought I would mention that very quickly. That is pure speculation. But we have the classic posture of Orion coming from Egyptian history. The Egyptians related it directly, Orion, to the afterlife. The Mayans related it directly to creation, and both cultures' life was kind of cyclical. And I believe the Cerne Abbas Giant here is a depiction of Orion on the hillside. Orion was important to many cultures. It connects to fertility and creation. And what is not more fertile than a 7-foot long schlong on the side of a mountain? But I will leave the location. I believe we have a lot of ruins around this site. As you just look over here to the right, I see a lot of stuff under the turf here that hints of some ancient ruins, but I will leave this link below. This is the Cerne Abbas Giant. He is a representation of Orion. Orion was important to cultures all over the ancient world. Hope you thought this was interesting. You have a nice weekend.